I'm Gretchen Rubin, and this is the Happiness Project. The resolution for this week is to make the positive argument. Studies and common sense show that having a grateful attitude is very important to a happy life. It boosts your energy, it makes you healthier, it increases your engagement with other people. It's very, very important as a happy life to think about ways to be grateful. And there's a way you can help yourself adopt that frame of mind because of something that you could call argumentative reasoning. So argumentative reasoning is a very common psychological phenomenon where we're very good at making arguments to ourselves. And what happens is you frame a position in your mind, you marshal up evidence to support your position, and then you feel like you've arrived at a very well-justified, well-reasoned chain of thought to get to a particular conclusion. But the interesting thing is that people are usually just as good at making the opposite argument, to argue just the opposite thing if they try, but usually you just make the positive argument to yourself. So what I do now is if I find myself thinking something, I try to argue just the opposite to myself, and it is uncanny how effective this is. So for example, if I find myself thinking, I'm a shy person, I can think of all these reasons why I'm shy or examples of times when I've been shy. But if I say to myself, I'm very friendly, I think, yes, I can think of all sorts of examples of how friendly I am. So the way that I can do this with gratitude is when I feel myself feeling resentful or ungrateful for something, I go out of my way to flip it and say, I'm grateful for it. So for example, I was thinking to myself, I really don't like taking my daughter to the pediatrician. And I have a lot of reasons why I don't like to take my daughter to the pediatrician. But then I thought to myself, no, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm taking my daughter to the pediatrician. And in fact, the minute I framed that positive argument to myself, my mind was filled with reasons why indeed I was grateful for the fact that I could take my daughter to the pediatrician. Another good example is technology. You think to yourself, oh my gosh, email is driving me crazy, it's just getting in my way. But then if you argue to yourself, no, technology is helpful to me, technology is making my life easier, then you are reminded of all the ways in which technology can make your life easier and is something to be grateful for. And if you really can't think of anything to be grateful for and you can't find a way to find a positive argument, one thing that is always there is nature. There's always to be grateful for the beauties of nature. And so the resolution for this week is to make the positive argument. And the thought for this week comes from Samuel Johnson, who wrote, "There is indeed something inexpressibly pleasing in the annual renovation of the world and the new displays of the treasures of nature."